Today, there's so much anger. What do we do about this anger?
Take our time in responding. A lot of this has to do with reactivity, with our incapacity to control our anger these days. Anger is over the top, and it's being really mentored by media, which is all about conflict, all about what side are you on, who do you hate, who are you against, how can you righteously stand your ground against those stupid people. But when we do this, we're actually creating a type of toxic environment in the way we are. And that's why it's interesting about anger today, because we decided to film in front of, well, actually Mothership, Revelations in Pink. And I like her response to anger. She says, it's not enlightenment, it's lighten up. You have to learn to breathe. She says, my crown are not jewels, but tears. And that part of the anger is this struggle and disappointment with the world. I thought it would be so much different, and it's not. I thought it would have turned out much better. I thought caring about these things so deeply would make them manifest, and they seem to be slipping away. What do I do about this? How do I navigate this type of disappointment? Because from this disappointment comes anger. It seems like it must be their fault that these things aren't working. But if we start to understand anger from a much more mental martial art point of view, it's actually saying you're in a field to learn how to use your energy wisely. If you draw your sword every time, you will be exhausted in the battle. If you begin to ask the question, what are my battles? What do I need to engage? And what do I allow the world in its being on fire like it is now to follow it like a wildfire, like the fire that came to our house? There is no way you can fight a wildfire, but you can defend what you love. You can say that I choose to stay. The fire is at my door, but I'm unafraid of the fire. It is challenging me to stand my ground and say, at least here these things matter. But I realize in the fire and the rage, if I am angry at my neighbor, it will most assuredly burn down my community. Because during a fire, we are meant to keep our eyes on one another. Not what do I dislike about you and why don't I like those people, but to actually understand that all of those people, like ourselves, are just as angry for all sorts of different reasons. If you prick them just slightly, they're going to be just as angry as you are, or as I am. Meaning that we must transmute this anger. We must understand that it is, as Mothership says, it's about you must make sense of the sorrows of this journey. It's difficult to be human, but you must see through also the eyes of the ancestors and the mother of generation and the upright father that says you are the outcome of a great journey. Your history has always been filled with reasons to be angry and to hate, and yet your humanity is revealed in your reasons to not hate, in spite of every reason to hate. And I think when we understand this, we bring anger back home. We say, yes, I am angry. I am disappointed. Things have not turned out the way I thought they would, but I'm alive. And when I look around, I realize this gift allows me to say, where am I? Where do I live? What do I love? Let me begin with this. And I think the anger of the world is saying, turn that anger down. Bring it back into your heart. Almost, I would say, turn the fury into that which incubates, that doesn't burn things down, but allows things to warm slowly. And this is how we start to use our anger wisely. And if we want examples, we just have to look at the arts and every place in the human expression where we take our disappointment and our anger, and instead of expressing that and identifying with that, we use it as a catalyst to say, I'm not going to make that my story. I'm going to turn this despair into music, and to turn it into a song. I'm going to make it something we can share together. Because I tell you, I realize your anger and my anger, we're just as angry. So let's use it as fuel for our wonderful rocket ships and go somewhere together rather than burn each other up. And that's my look at anger. Thanks.